I'm attempting to actually write in the article. The title is Love, Misconception and Redefinition. Because we grew up now, the rates of divorce is like skyrocketing now. There's a reason for that, because again we are stuck at soil, because we were being programmed, conditioned from our early age, exposed to the love story of happily ever after, the man is like this, the woman is like this, yada yada yada. So you grew up having this understanding, our idea about how love's supposed to be. So there's a lot of depression and anxiety, and things do not turn out as we have been, given this imagination. And on the other side, because of we were not told or we're not taught how to love ourselves, how to know ourselves, and our man out of myself or come out of the body. And on the other side, I'm thinking about this ayah, Shaykh. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. So how do I reconcile this? Just for a friend here.
That's exactly what I said at the beginning. It's the difference between real and ideal. Because there shouldn't be any discrepancy between them in the sense of saying this. Saying that whether it's marriage or friendship or whatever it is, or love in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that love is real, meaning I expect the other person not to be perfect because I'm not perfect. And if you expect perfection, you're going to be sadly disappointed. Every single one of us has a set of bad habits. And the difference between us, we have different sets of bad habits. I mean, my sets could be this, and his sets could be the other things. And then her sets is, everyone's got something. Because we're just perfectly imperfect. And imperfectly perfect. And therefore, Islam asked us to have sabr and haqq. And that's why it asked us to have mawadda and rahmah. So, there's got to be some love, there's got to be some mercy. When there's no love at all, mercy will carry. When mercy stops coming, there's no more marriage. And that's why Islam asked you to keep love and mercy. They've got to be there. And the realization that we're not perfect, none of us is. Can we work together with our bad sets of habits? That's the question. I always tell the young people before they get married, before you agree on how to agree, please learn to agree on how to disagree. But young people, when they get married, they don't worry about how can I ever disagree with him? No way. Wait 6 months. You'll learn the hard way. Vice versa as well. I'm not just saying that on men versus women, women versus men. Same thing. And that's because, again, we're going into this idea of soulmate rather than not realizing it's really soilmate that we're having. Now, soilmate can turn into a soulmate. That's the beauty of it. For Allah's sake. Sure. Can. Potentially. That's what you put into it, right? I always say marriage is what you put. Any relationship, not just marriage. Friendship, the path of Allah Ta'ala, whatever, is what you put into it. Whatever you put into it, it's like a plant, right? You put into the plant, it's going to give you. You stop putting, it's going to die. It's just a matter of time. It's what you put into it. In anything, you're working for Allah, is what you put into it. Don't complain to me if you're not working. Guess what? It ain't going to happen. If you put, it's going to give. You don't put, it's not going to give. That's the law Allah Ta'ala created things with. Studies, you put, it's going to give you. You don't put studies, it's not going to give you. Work. But at the root of all that is love. If you love, it brings out the best in you. If you don't, it's not. If you love what you do, it's going to make you the best at what you do. Whether you're an engineer, doctor, IT professional, worker, whatever you do. If you love what you do, it's just going to show. Even if you're a cook, right? And you go home, you go to some cooked meals, sometimes they say, look, this is made with love. It tastes different. Yeah, it's made with love. Wow. Good. Made with love, it doesn't matter what it is, it's good. But if it's made as a job, it's whatever. And the reason, again, society nowadays is not helping. Because there's a drive, global drive, to make everyone on their own. You don't need to live with anybody. You don't need to put up with anybody. Let me just give you an ideal idea of a soulmate, but now that was in the 80s and the 90s. There's no need for a soulmate now. You're your own soulmate. There is no need. That was the 80s. That's when they sold them all these things and the Valentine's hearts and the all that chocolate and all the business. Now, maybe there's just you don't need to, because I can sell to you now everything. It's all individualized. And maybe now we can invent, I don't know if you've seen the latest human simulation artificial intelligence. Wow, scary. In Japan, I mean, they made a woman artificial intelligence even on the outside. I can sell that to everyone. Why put up with anyone? You'll just program someone to be everything you want. And if I can manufacture the touch and feel to be the same, with artificial intelligence being reactive and responsive, you're done. Now this is what's going to come. This is inevitable. This is the present already, not just the future. And that's why I said, all right, sometimes we need to unplug to plug. If you keep plugging, our minds are becoming just like your Facebook news feed. You gotta unplug. Gotta unplug a little bit and live real, not virtual necessarily. And real, there's good, bad, and ugly in all of us, in you and me. If you think there's only good, then you're delusional. Can you put with the ugly and the bad? If you can't put up with it, good. Then we can go somewhere. So you choose the least ugly or the ugly that you can work with. And that's why I say always, learn how to disagree before you learn how to agree. Because we're going to eventually disagree. How do we disagree? Wallahu a'lam. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi.